Vázquez obviously believes it will be very different. The WBO Featherweight Championship on the line. It's Prince Naseem Hamed's 10th defence of a reign that now stretches to more than 2.5 years. And all the victories in that time have come inside schedule. Vázquez, until recently, the WBA title holder at this weight. It's a clash of two of the featherweight titans, this. Hamed, left hook from him. What tactics will Vázquez employ? Kelly was very busy with the jab, you might remember. And Hamed had trouble with that, with Kelly outreaching him.
Vázquez very intelligent, very experienced. He's waiting of Hamed. Hamed likes fighters to come to him. He likes to catch them after they make a mistake. Vázquez not falling into that. He's just waiting, seeing what they want Hamed to come to him.
Vázquez can be very dangerous with sneak right-hand counters and left hook counters too, with his back to the ropes. On the night he won the featherweight championship, he pulled it around with some spectacular power late on against Eloy Rojas.
And they are the punches that you would employ against the southpaw. You look for right hands, left hooks.
Naseem Hamed, I think, is anxious to get back to the kind of watertight, smart boxing, ramrod jabbing performance that he showed against Jose Badillo, perhaps the best performance so far in his career. He says, I'm a better fighter than I showed against Kevin Kelly, with whom there could be a rematch this summer. We'll see. Good right hand from Hamed. He will certainly have speed on his side here. Vázquez is not a quick fighter, but he's a very cagey and knowing one.
Hamed can't afford to be caught with his chin in the air. He's got to tighten up his defences.
He does box with his gloves down. Vázquez trying to force him onto the back foot. Hamed quick on his feet. And with this ability, he's wrestled Vázquez down there. That was not a knockdown. Of course, he's possessed of this spectacular power. Hamed, there is no doubt that he's the biggest punching featherweight in the world.
His solid left hand from Hamed. It's a suiting him more now. Vázquez is starting to come forward, looking to lead. Hamed likes the counter with a very quiet round.
Well, Prince Naseem Hamed, of course, is always giving us predictions about what will happen. He's had 11 second-round wins. So what's the prediction tonight?
I'm looking for a second round. I mean, I don't know if you realise this, Adam, but I've knocked out, I think, 10 in the second round. And I see that as a very, very good round for me. So, 2 rounds.
Prince Naseem Hamed talking to Adam Smith there, and he's very conscious about getting these predictions right. You can expect a big effort to make the prediction come true in the second round, although he cannot take risks with Vázquez. The main thing is to get the job done, isn't it? Never mind getting the right round.
That's right, that's not really that important, but it is to a fighter like Naz. He will try, he will put an extra effort in, but I think he'll still be careful. I don't think he wants to make any silly mistakes.
Hamed working well with his southpaw jab and then a sneak little left hand. Hand speed, impressive from Hamed. 2 good left hooks and a right uppercut too. Just looked a little shaky on his feet for a moment there. Did he touch down with his gloves? I think he did, Vázquez, you know. And in New York, as Naz found to his cost, those should be counts. It was not administered there by Gino Rodriguez.
Well, he's wiped the glove, so he obviously knew that he did go down, but he didn't take up a count.
It was only a flash knockdown, but nevertheless, that'll be interesting to look at again.
Hamed did get through with some good punches. And he is now beginning to bring Vázquez onto him. That's the way he likes to fight. He likes fighters to attack and make mistakes.
This fight going to 19 countries around the world tonight, including China and Iceland, would you believe? And of course to the United States, again a big TV deal over there for Naseem Hamed. And the TV executives are describing him as the fastest rising star on the boxing scene in America. But he has to keep winning, of course. He's definitely looking to box his way to victory.
It's much more cautious here. Leaped in there with a good right hook.
Oh, countering right. Good shot, and he has to be careful of those. Hamed. Vázquez is so dangerous like that. And he does have this weakness, Hamed, from time to time of lunging in and leaving himself open.
Yes, that's very much part of his style. Kevin Kelly caught him with that when he was leaping in. He is looking to try and leap in at this moment, Hamed.
Of course, part of his excitement value is that occasionally he does look vulnerable like that. No prediction true tonight, and I don't think he was that bothered about it, to be perfectly honest.
I don't think so. I think he respects Vázquez. He knows he's in with a quality fighter. Vázquez is trying not to make mistakes. He's trying to wait for Hamed, catch him coming in, and I think Hamed will not worry about the predictions. It's nice if he can get it right. It's nice if he can say it looks very good, but in this quality of fighter, or quality of opponent, it's very difficult to get things like that right.
Now let's have a look. Did he touch down with the gloves here? I thought he did. Yeah, he definitely did. That should have been a count.
Yes, they could have given him a count for that. He was just coming a little bit off balance, but that would have counted.
Well, the rules state it quite clearly. So he got away with that, did Vázquez. And it could be important on the scorecards, and sometimes the judges will score that 10-8, even if it's only a flash knockdown. Who knows how important that may turn out to be as we go into the third round now. Hamed defending his WBO featherweight championship. Vázquez, a three-weight world champion already, looking to pick up a new title here, having been stripped of the World Boxing Association version of the crown. Vázquez, a likeable, smart, intelligent family man with business interests in Puerto Rico, does a bit of broadcasting as well.
But you would doubt in all the fights and the vast experience if he's ever come across anybody with the style of Hamed. Very, very unique.
Oh, left hook, and he's got it this time, and they'll have to count that. Left himself open, and Hamed was so quick. Vázquez on the floor in round three. Not for long, but a good shot from the star from Sheffield. Vázquez has only been stopped twice in 60 fights. The last time 8 years ago. And on that occasion he was knocked cold in the round by Israel Contreras. But you have to say that was a blip, really. His chin has always looked pretty good. And that, by the way, was the 50th knockdown that Hamed has scored in his career.
And another good left hand from Hamed. He's just starting to find the range, find the gaps in the defense of Vázquez.
Good combination by Hamed, who's starting to throw these punches with more menace now. A ripple of applause from the crowd, who sense that Hamed may be getting on top and breaking through. But this is a proud, proud Latin fighter.
Hamed does have to be careful when he leaps in. He's got to try and just tighten that defense, look for the right openings, because Vázquez is dangerous.
It only takes a split second against fellows like this and your whole career can go west. He does throw these punches from some highly unusual angles that other fighters don't even dream about. He's winning the rounds, Glenn.
He's winning the rounds. It's a good performance. He's been very cautious. He's looking for the right openings. He's just starting to get Vázquez more and more. And Vázquez also is being careful. He's not reckless. He's not rushing in. But this is a nice performance from Hamed.
But I don't know, you just sense, don't you, that Vázquez could still be dangerous. Good shot, that. Wasn't seriously hurt.
No, he wasn't. But it was a good shot. When you look at the angle, he was leaning back away from that when he caught Vázquez with a punch and still managed to deck him. The angles are amazing. Fighters normally couldn't do this and get away with it.
Hamed, Naseem Hamed, the name in Arabic means gentle breeze. His opponents must feel like it's a hurricane.
He's anything but a gentle breeze in there.
Here's round 4. So far, so good for Hamed. Far less of the errors we saw in that crazy but spectacularly exciting fight at Madison Square Garden last time. Vázquez's face just beginning to look a little marked up.
Yes, it's looking red, and he came into the ring with a lot of scar tissue, been in many epic battles through the years, and it took its toll around the eyes.
The hand speed and the angle of the punch, the unexpected angle of punches, catching Vázquez by surprise. He will have watched Hamed over and over again on video, but watching it and then being able to do something about it in reality, two different things. Punch thrown with blurring hand speed by Hamed.
Yes, it's the speed that gets him. He's got terrific power, but he hits them very fast when they don't expect it, and that is what really shakes you up.
It's a more conservative performance, but it's a much tighter and more sensible one, this, from Hamed. I think it taught him, that last fight against Kelly, that you cannot take liberties at top world level. Cracking shots again, but I tell you what, Vázquez's chin looks good.
It looks good. He doesn't look as if he's really getting his full weight behind these blows, Hamed, but they're good and they're sharp. He's still a bit cautious, not quite really going for them.
Vázquez, by the way, was saying in the build-up to the fight that he'd spent 5 rounds just studying and looking at Hamed, and then look to pick it up from there when he'd worked a few things out.
And to be as successful as he's been in his career, you have to have a good boxing brain.
Ooh. Right hand and a counter back from Vázquez. That was a reminder.
That was a good, powerful punch from Hamed, but Vázquez took that one well.
Oh, some nastiness between them there. Vázquez stuck his face right into Hamed, and there's certainly a bit of grudge.
Well, Vázquez, he's a proud man. He's not going to give this away easily. Hamed had to take a couple of shots at the end of the round, but still, for me, doing the better work. We're just looking for the gaps, and this is where it ended.
And both of them were sensible enough not to try to make any more of that, and professional enough.
Yeah, Hamed leaping in with the right hand and just being caught with a right of himself. It was similar when he leaped in with Kevin Kelly, caught by a big punch there. And this is where he's vulnerable, when he does move away with his hands down.
The defence is very much based on speed and reflexes. And that is true of nearly all fighters from that Brendan Ingle camp in Sheffield. It all started with Harold Graham. Hamed hasn't been taken the whole distance of 12 rounds since 1994 against Vincenzo Belcastro in a European title fight. That right hand just catching him off balance. He does have a bit of a balance problem, doesn't he?
Well, it's because he moves away so quickly, and he leans back as he moves away. So if you can catch him when he's doing that, that spells problems.
Hamed ahead, but the door on Vázquez not completely shut, you feel, by quite a long way. Good body shots from Vázquez, who may just be starting to pick up his own pace a little. He's been training for this fight since January. He says he's been waiting for it since 1995.
Big leap in for the left hook there. Didn't quite connect cleanly. And this is the better round for Vázquez. He's putting more pressure on, forcing Hamed to give ground and use the footwork.
Starting to step in, Vázquez now. Still the jab, move, in and out, fast combinations, tactics from Hamed. Vázquez felt he was caught low.
I think just a little warning from the back of the hand there. Just slapping on the back of the hand.
Again, the hand speed of Hamed, eye-catching.
Hamed just looking a little sloppy in this round.
This will be the closest round yet. Vázquez certainly had to do more because he was beginning to slip a long way behind on the scorecard. Impossible to have given him any of the rounds before that. You could argue more about that one.
Yes, I would have given that round to Vázquez. I thought he just did more. He just pressured Hamed. I got the feeling Hamed was just puzzling him out, just thinking of his, as he was moving around, just trying to think, what have I got to do? How do I get through the defenses?
Computer says this. Head punches landed by Hamed, 56 to 22 by Vázquez. Body shots, look at that, that's interesting, isn't it? 19 by Vázquez, only 4 from Hamed so far.
Because Hamed, he pretty much relies on head punches. Not a great one to go to the body, but I think that's because in this fight he's doing not a lot, because he's a little wary. He's given Vázquez all the respect he deserves, and he's just being careful.
The argument moves into the 6th round, and this is a round that Vázquez felt might be good for him if he was going to make a prediction. Felix Zabala, his manager, giving him a pat on the way out. He's really having to think his way through this, isn't he, the Prince? Oh, left hand, down he goes. Says it's not a knockdown, but it is, you know.
That was a knockdown. That was a good straight left hand.
He shook his head almost in disgust with himself. I don't think he was really contesting the fact that he was down. Down for the 2nd time, Vázquez. On neither occasion, though, what you'd call badly shaken up.
No, he's been very quick to get up, to collect himself.
While all this is going on, one of the ropes has become quite slack and is being tightened up by feverish work in the corners as you are watching. All part of the drama here. Now the referee stops it as Vázquez lands a right hand afterwards. And just look how loose those ropes are. Oh dear. Well, we've seen some things during fights. I suppose the most amazing was the so-called fan man's arrival by parachute in the Holyfield Bow 2nd fight. This is not quite at that level, but it's time out time.
Well, it's gone very slack indeed. I'm not sure how that's happened.
And we may have some delay here. This will not be as bad as the problem they had at Real Madrid the other night when somebody pulled down the goalpost and they couldn't start the game. This will be sorted out in a jiffy, I should think. Good left hand that, wasn't it?
Good left hand, just caught him on the side of the jaw. Well, he didn't, to be honest, looking at it from another angle, he did look slightly off balance, and the shot didn't look as good as I first thought. Caught his arm and pushed him off balance. It didn't really look that good a shot.
Didn't get through.
Broken.
Did I say they'd sort this out in a jiffy? Well, you can have people walking on water on their way into the ring. But the good old-fashioned technology of getting a ring that works. Now this will spoil the fighter's concentration. This can become a factor in the fight, Glenn.
It will. I'm not sure what's happened. This will upset them. They're getting into the rhythm, but I think the ropes could well have snapped. It's covered in a vinyl so the boxers don't rub against it, but it could well have snapped inside it because it's just gone totally loose.
Now look at Hamed. He falls back against the ropes there. That was he was moaning there because a right hand was thrown after Gino Rodriguez had said stop. He's chatting to Frank Warren, meanwhile, and the rope we think has broken and will have to be replaced. I don't think I've ever seen this before. I've seen a few things in the last 20 years or so covering this business.
I don't think I've ever seen especially in such a big fight as this, a rope snapping. But it's had some work tonight. Chris Eubank took a lot of time on those ropes.
Now he has to just keep his concentration together because how long is this going to take to sort out? I've never actually done the job myself. Mike Goodall and his team, he's an expert at putting up these things. Are hard at work. The crowd are getting rested. There's no point in that though, really. What can you do? It's one of those things, isn't it?
That's right, there's nothing you do. You certainly can't continue with the rope like that because it would be very dangerous for a fighter to fall through it. So you've just got to get on with the problem.
Well, whatever they're paying Mike Goodall, they've got to double it tonight, I think. And they're now having to take the whole rope out. Seen it all now, Glenn.
We have seen a few things, haven't we?
I was there when they had the tear gas. Remember when Tony Simpson fought in Stafford, I think it was? We had tear gas at ringside. We were all covering our faces with handkerchiefs. I was at the riot at Hagla-Minter.
Riddick Bowe.
The Riddick Bowe riot at Madison Square Garden, when Glenn and I were lucky to escape with our lives onto 7th Avenue that night. We're not in any danger here, but we do have a delay. Now, Hamed and Vázquez are meanwhile having an argument.
Because I think tempers are just fraying as well in there. It's very difficult for the fighters. They've got to keep their concentration. It's very easy with this delay, so much going on, to lose your concentration. Meanwhile, Frank Warren's given Hamed a few instructions. I'm not really sure that's supposed to happen mid-fight, but...
Now let's have a look at what happened here between the two fighters. They've been hanging around, pass each other. Just as well they don't speak the same language as well. It really could get a bit tasty, but not too much love lost there.
You still get the feeling there's maybe a little bit of bad feeling, a needle in the fight yet.
Well, Vázquez has been quite largely outboxed, and he is one of those fighters who snipes at you psychologically a little bit, Hamed. I think he gets to other fighters' minds, doesn't he? Remember how Roberto Duran, his mind, even he, the great macho Duran, his mind was messed up by Sugar Ray Leonard in that second fight, and he turned his back on him and walked away.
That's right. It's very important. The mind games come into it a great deal. The psychological thing. They've now moved the ropes up, and we've just got 3 ropes, and they're just...
Well, let's hope that one of the fighters doesn't fall through. It's quite a big gap, as you can see, between the second rope and the top one. It is possible that a fighter could be knocked out the ring, but we are back in business. What round was it again? 6, that's right. It was so long ago.
Well, you can imagine if anything was to happen now, there would be some arguments from either corner, wouldn't they?
Dancing, moving, and snappy punches from Hamed, and at the moment Vázquez a little bewildered by it, you'd say.
This is difficult for him. He's trying to get in range, can't get there. Gets caught with little shots as he's coming in. Very frustrating fighting a boxer like Hamed.
You see, we always felt this, didn't we, Glenn, that when he moved up in class, he would know and come to experience that you just cannot walk through and blast out top-level operators. And I think this is the most effective way for him to box against the top boys.
Yes, that's right. Bear in mind the style he's got. He's got to be careful. Still bad feeling there as they come together.
Now, strange that, because there's been no hint of that at all at any of the press conferences this week.
No, I think obviously they respect each other and they've been friendly, and but this is different now. This is the business. This is getting on, and neither one's really got a good stranglehold on the fight yet. Nobody's really that much in charge, so the macho still comes into it.
Here's another problem. The judges scoring that round, can they remember what happened in the first bit? Because I can't.
That's right. But I've still got it. There was the knockdown at the beginning and a 10-8 round for Hamed.
Thank you, Glenn. Indeed.
A little bit of a swelling on the right eye of Hamed, just working there with the end swell. So Vázquez is meant to get through.
This huge entourage, Vázquez, have been following all around town and clapping him and making lots of noise and whipping him up into the second half of the fight. Will we see Vázquez try something new? But of course he is very wary of Hamed's power with counter shots.
He's a smart fighter. He's not about to rush in recklessly. Hamed would like him to do that.
Oh, leather left hand! And he goes into a dance. That was a big shot from Hamed. Vázquez again is up cleanly, but he's down for the third time in the contest now. Nods to the corner, says I'm okay. Terrific shot that though. And then to follow it, a short, snappy little right hand.
And now moving in, looking for the big punch. That was a good right hand.
Oh, he's got him with another left hook there. Looking a little rockier on the legs, Vázquez. He's turning up the gas here, Hamed. But still, I'm sure his boxing brain is telling him, take no liberties. Do not give Vázquez an opportunity to counter, because the Puerto Rican will take it. Make no mistake of that. He's got out of jail before. The decision to rush in and try and walk through him has to be taken at the right time when he feels that Vázquez is ready by Hamed. He's certainly softening him up now though with these shots, and that left foot is more off balance than anything really, Vázquez, but rocked by that. Those legs are starting to go. The legs now have turned to timber for Vázquez. Another left hand, and the end may be close from again. His pride gets him up at 3, maybe unwisely at 3.
Because the legs were unsteady when he got up. He should have took some more time.
Hamed looks to be on the verge here. It is stopped in round 7. It is stopped, and Prince Naseem Hamed has turned on a superb performance to retain his WBO featherweight title.